Daily Broadside, day 722. This weekend I had an interesting experience that I've never thought about before, but this is not as exciting as you think it's going to be, but I had a burger that had sausage and bacon on it, like a sausage patty and then strips of bacon. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I eat it, and I realized that as many times as I've eaten both of those products in my life, I don't think I've ever had them together. And you can't taste bacon when you eat sausage, which I think violates some law of physics because bacon is one of the best foods on planet Earth, and it seems odd that something can overpower it. You know what I mean? Like, that's like mixing bleach with something. You go, I can't taste the bleach. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. But another thing I did this weekend, and I will not do ever again, is I went and saw Beetlegeist. Like the original movie. I saw it in the theater, actually, when I was a kid. But Tim Burton should be ashamed of this drivel that he has produced. He had 30-some years or whatever to make a good production of this movie, and you've turned it into crap. It's hard. It's so bad. It's so bad. There's so many plots that don't even exist. They don't make any sense. That girl that staples herself back together, like, you forget she's even in the movie until later, and she pops back up. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, I just... the characters sucked. It just wasn't. Michael Keaton was at the most mildly entertaining, but it just didn't have the pizzazz of the original by any means. And the story was just so, like I said, all over the place and just bad. I walked out, and literally the friend I was with, and we just went on a whim, and like, oh, let's go see this. All right, cool. And we walked out, and we both looked at each other, and almost simultaneously, like, that was horrible. Like, the whole way back to the car, we're just talking about how horrible it was. And we didn't share notes before. I actually almost fell asleep twice. And I've only done that one other time, and that was the Jar Jar Binks Star Wars movie I got drugged to, and I literally fell asleep for probably 45 minutes. It was great sleep, but what a stupid movie. I just need to know my limitations. I need to stop going to things that are remakes, And I don't go to movies very often. I mean, I saw Oppenheimer was the last movie I saw in a theater. No, I take it back. I saw the Iron Claw, which was a good movie, that I talked about when I went and saw it. But those are the last two movies I've seen. I mean, I might see one, maybe two movies a year in a theater. It just doesn't happen that often, just because I'm just not one of these theater dorks and whatnot. And there's just not a lot that appeals to me anyway. But I won't be seeing any more remakes, any more sequels, any more of that crap, because it's just bad. I don't like it at all, and it makes me angry that that's something that could have been so brilliant was not, What was the other thing I was going to say about it? It's like they had to bring everything back just for the sake of it. We'll work a the sandworm had no point in the movie. It didn't need to be there, but they only did it because it was in the original. And here's my other question is, everybody's, deceased, right? So if you remember the old lady that, like, smoked out of her throat and all, that, like, greeted Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis into the underworld or whatever it's called, why is she not still working there? Like, why are those people all not working there? Because they're deceased. It's not like they retired and, went to another hell or whatever world they're in. It just doesn't make any sense. In the waiting room, if there's 4 million, 9 million people waiting, why are there only 3 people sitting on there? Why is there 2 couches? Where are all these people at? Just dumb. Maybe there's another waiting room that you wait in, kind of like in a doctor's office where you have a waiting room and a well waiting room, where I always go, whether I'm sick or not, I always sit in the well waiting room because then I don't have to be around sick people, but that's not important. But I think that all the people that are yearning to be actors and actresses in this world, which with AI coming up is going to be a very difficult thing to climb, I think you need to realize that you automatically have half a shot, as much as you thought you did, at getting a job in the industry, because they estimate that 50%, maybe more, of the industry in Hollywood is nepotism based, nepo babies as they call them or whatever. And it's true, man. Like, if you go to Wikipedia and you'll be like, oh, look, Johnny Depp. Oh, I didn't know he was the grandson of, blah, 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 blah. And there's this whole lineage of, they either own a studio or they were some famous actor, or, they were a writer or producer or director. They're assigned to somebody, and that's how they got their job, not because they're the best looking or the the best fit or the best actor, quite frankly. And I just find that interesting that, you're already up against a wall that half the chance you thought you had is already gone because you're not related to anybody that's, already famous and everything. And the last thing I'll say is, just so you know, Publix, the grocery store chain, they'll glaze anything you bring to them in the section of, breads and cakes and all that kind of stuff. So if you just go over there and you buy some, you buy some Texas toast or some croissant, and you take it over to the counter, the bakery people will glaze it for you. Now, it might not taste as good if it's not warm because it's warm room temperature, but just so you know, you bring it up there, they'll glaze it for you. And that's one to grow on. Kitty.